Nothing like this anywhere else in America. The 2-mile-long storm surge barrier in New Orleans East and St. Bernard.
In the wake of Hurricane Katrina, some of the country's best engineering minds teamed up to help better protect New Orleans.
Our journey to this point also focused on Louisiana's natural protection and one of the world's biggest environmental restoration efforts. The latest example, a $115 million project in St. Bernard Parish. Airboats cruised down the notorious ship channel that funneled Katrina's surge into the heart of New Orleans and St. Bernard. Sandwiched between the now closed Mississippi River Gulf outlet and Lake Bourne, a broken wetland has been reborn.
This is going to be the biggest project we've ever done.
2,700 acres of new coastal wetlands, the largest marsh creation project in Louisiana history. Planners say it provides a layer of natural protection for the levees rebuilt after Katrina.
And unfortunately, a disaster had to happen to really kind of give us the clarity and motivation to really think big, to be ambitious.
Coastal scientist Alicia Renfro with the National Wildlife Federation sees Katrina as a wake-up call.
So when we talk about the disaster that was Hurricane Katrina, it was a failure of the levee system, but it was also a failure of the natural ecosystem. So much of it had disappeared. We had no longer had a robust system outside of those levees.
Over the last century, geologists tell us about 2,000 square miles of Louisiana disappeared. Oilfield canals drew salt water into the interior marsh and altered natural tidal flows. Levees built for navigation locked the Mississippi River in a straitjacket, depriving the marsh of sediment. The wetlands, disconnected from the river, sank. This NOAA image depicts what the coast would have looked like north of Port Fourchon in 1932 versus an actual satellite image in modern times. Katrina galvanized support for coastal restoration. Simone Malaz heads the group Restore the Mississippi River Delta.
You can't just build a levee over here or just a piece of marsh over here. We have to be thinking about those things together.
Pre-Katrina, and Rita for that matter, this was the kind of project that coastal advocates only dreamed of. Dozens of them have been completed. 5 years after the hurricanes, another disaster would provide the funding. Court settlements from the 2010 BP oil spill set aside $9 billion for Louisiana. When it came time to divide the money among Gulf Coast states, advocates say Louisiana benefited from already having in place the coastal master plan it developed in Katrina's wake.
We had a science-based process. We had a plan, a blueprint for what our coastline should look like and how we want to invest our money.
State coastal officials estimate Louisiana has rebuilt about 60 miles of barrier islands and beaches. That's in addition to large-scale projects like this one in South Plaquemines Parish. The Spanish Pass restoration turned 6 miles of open water into land. Contractors have spent 3 years on the Lake Bourne project, pumping 13 million cubic yards of dredge material, enough to fill the Superdome 3 times.
I've been here from the very beginning, so I've seen from the rawest stage to the most completed stages, and it's very rewarding.
Planners gave special attention to mimicking nature. Natural-looking bayous allow for tidal flow into and out of the new marsh. Rick Owens is with the Louisiana Wildlife Federation.
This system is, and everything that we benefit from it, from shrimp to crabs to the fish we catch to the alligators to the birds, it all requires that balance. It requires the balance of fresh and salt. It requires the water that moves through here.
However, weeks ago, the state pulled the plug on the biggest project of them all, the plan to channel a portion of the Mississippi River into Barataria Bay to unleash the river's power to build land.
This project is going to break our culture.
Governor Landry sided with opponents who feared large amounts of fresh water would devastate fisheries.
We've got less sediment load in the river, and we're trying to do it all in one bite while we destroy communities.
Many scientists argue not using the river to build back the coast hinders Louisiana's ability to do restoration at the scale needed.
The Mississippi River is what built Louisiana's coast.
The coast today is smaller than before Katrina. Yet advocates say in some ways, Louisiana is in a better place today than it was 20 years ago.
This is the biggest project that the state will have completed, and it's important because that matches the challenges that we're facing.
The oil spill money runs out in 2031. Congress recently gave the state a larger share of offshore oil revenue, $500 million over 10 years. That's a big number, but Louisiana has yet to secure a permanent source of funding to keep projects going at the same pace as has happened in the last 10 years or so. If you missed the Our Journey special last weekend, you can find the full hour-long special on our website, fox8live.com. You can also find it on the Fox 8 News app.